Hi there, Irina. So I see that you've written your first essays for us. Well done. Let's take a look at what you wrote. The first one is about schools, whether they should entertain or just educate. Let's see what you said. On the one hand, modern society believes that schools should include more creative practices into their program, and as a mother of a future scholar, I personally share this opinion. On the other hand, there is a widespread one-word idea that educational institutions are aimed at teaching but not amusing. This essay will discuss both points of view using examples from Harvard University research and Russian experience to demonstrate issues and support arguments. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. Firstly, many parents are concerned that their children lack motivation to study in school. This is due to the fact that they are not interested in the tutorials or encouraged by the educational environment. For instance, recent studies of by Harvard University indicate that the information is better perceived when the pupils are personally involved in the learning process. Therefore, educational institutions should include in their syllabus more practical lessons in interactive techniques, QUES, okay? What you wrote is techniques, which is something different. However, an experimental approach to education, is mostly restricted by governments. This is largely because public schools are believed to be academic, no AL, with the main goal to educate pupils. As an example, most schools in Russia concentrate on classic subjects, offering art lessons or outdoor activities how can we fix this? As extracurricular activities, maybe? As a consequence, Russian scholars tend to show low attendance rates and decreasing examination marks. I disagree that schools can achieve considerable results in education without being entertaining. It is predicted that next generations will be much more creative and sophisticated, so they should be attracted by their tutors and involved not into, the interactive learning process. Okay, so Irina, the good news with this essay is that you have mostly accurate grammar, mostly accurate vocabulary, no major problems there. But my concern is with the way you organize your paragraph. So it's an issue for me of coherence and cohesion. What do I mean? I mean that one of the things that you have to do is make sure that the central idea in each paragraph is clear. And that's one of the reasons why we always put a topic sentence at the beginning of each paragraph. It acts like an introduction to that paragraph and explains to the reader what the main idea is. You didn't really do that. So now I knew you were going to discuss both points of view because you told me so here. So as I was reading your paragraph, I kept asking myself, all right, where is she going with this? What's the idea here? What point of view is she supporting in this paragraph? That did not come clear to me. That did not become clear to me until the last sentence in this paragraph. So here you wrote, educational institutions should include in their syllabus more practical lessons and interactive techniques. You should have written something like that in the first line of the paragraph. So, for example, it is important that schools include entertaining lessons and entertaining methods such as interactive classes in the school curriculum. This is because students nowadays are not interested or encouraged by the educational environment in their school. As they are not involved in it, as it is just mechanical learning. So, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I kind of felt like you took this like a backwards way. So, the idea of the paragraph and what you were supporting and what you were trying to say was not clear from the beginning. Okay? And the same thing kind of happened here. So, I wasn't really sure what you were trying to tell me. This paragraph, as I understood it, you were trying to say that lots of governments support this idea of an academic-only school, and this is what happens, classic subjects, only extracurricular, etc., etc. And then the result is low attendance rate and decreasing examination marks. I want to see you tie these things in together better. I want to see a stronger and clearer topic sentence in your future essays, okay? For your first essay, it's fine, but I need to know from that first line what the paragraph is about, okay? So that's my overall feedback. Let's take a look at your second one, see what you did there. Okay, enjoyable activities, skills, and creativity. Let's see. Children and parents do together different things to bond, communicate, and study. One of the most common forms of entertainment is missing here. Forms of is reading, but other amusing activities tend to be more fruitful for developing young brains. While books are essential for education, I believe that there are more successful ways of gaining experience and boosting creativity. This essay will discuss both points of view using examples from a study by American Pediatrics Association, experience of Russian publishing houses, Clever and Drofa. Okay. All right. Firstly, one of the favorite activities for every child is drawing. This is because children have a vibrant imagination and endure implementing, ing after adore, their ideas on a piece of paper. A study by American Pediatrics Association showed that the most beneficial activity for juvenile mental development should include visual, auditive, and finger stimuli. Okay, that is why drawing is believed to be one of the best ways of educational communication. Okay, so what okay, they have, but does it develop their skills? Does it develop creativity? I wanted you to add a little more about that. I think you could have said a little more here. And let me tell you another reason why I said that. Look at how long your introduction is. It's actually longer than your body paragraph. And from now on, I want to see the exact opposite. I want to see a briefer introduction, and I want to see more development of your body paragraphs. Okay? This is where you really should be putting your emphasis and your weight in developing these ideas. Not so much here. Okay? So what I wanted a little bit more here is not that this is one of their favorite activities, but more how does it develop better skills and creativity. Okay? So you needed to focus more on that and not just that, well, kids really like it. Okay? Moving on. Secondly, all parents are recommended to read books out loud starting as early as the fetal period. When a baby starts to distinguish, that's the word you want, sounds from the external environment. Though reading is good for lingual skills and imagination, it does not require any hand and finger activity. Maybe you want to use fine and gross motor skills. That's a nicer way of saying this, which is vital for building neuron connections, connections. That is why major publishers in Russia, such as Clever and Drofa, launch special books which have cardboard elements to be pulled and turned by little hands. However, while reading, comma, children only perceive, I don't know if you mean perceive, I think they receive maybe? Well, maybe perceive is okay. Ready material and do not create anything by themselves. Okay. To my perspective, young generations will grow and develop their skills more quickly doing maybe is better, doing more versatile activities such as drawing than reading. Okay. Good. I'm really happy that you spent a paragraph talking about reading. I think that was a great choice. It's not one that most people do, but I'm glad you did it. I think it's important because for this debate to exist, okay, this comparison with reading, it is important to analyze reading in one of your paragraphs. So I'm glad you did that. Unfortunately, the order of your paragraphs is incorrect. You told me that you don't support reading, or at least you don't support it as much as you do other activities such as drawing. So this paragraph should have come first because when we write an essay, we always talk about the side that we agree with less first, and then we leave the side that we do support till later in our essay, closer to our conclusion, okay? So the first thing I would have done is I would have reversed the order of these paragraphs. This one would have been first, and this one would have been second. Now, let's see. And then I'm going to just reiterate what I said before about this paragraph. Yes to your emphasis on drawing, but you needed to bring it back to this idea of that drawing develops these skills, okay? Not that kids should be involved in an activity that includes these, but that these skills as a result are developed and the creativity is developed. All right? You said educational communication, which I didn't really understand. I don't know what you meant. I didn't know what you meant by that. So you wanted to tell me how drawing helps develop both skills and creativity. All right? And also remember what I said about the size of your paragraphs. I know it probably sounds silly, but trust me, it is important. And it's important that you really focus your attention on the body paragraphs and considerably less on your introduction and conclusion. Okay? I'm happy with these though, despite my corrections and despite what I'm telling you. You're at a good place. Okay, so keep up the good work. What you need to do now, Irina, is you have to correct these essays based on my suggestions. And then you have to create an error correction list. In other words, it's a list where you write down the mistakes that were pointed out to you, and then next to each error, write what the corrected version is. This is a list that you're going to add to with each essay correction you get back. Okay? And then you also have to write, of course, a new set of essays using all the feedback and all the things that you've been learning throughout the course. So go ahead and get those 3 things started. You're going to send all 3 of them back to us together. Okay? Again, if you can, try to do it in the next day or so you can really keep up your momentum and apply everything you've been learning. So I'll be here. I'll be waiting for those. Good luck and keep on writing.